Welcome to the FLNG News Brief. I'm Army Staff Sergeant Carmen Fleischman.
And I'm Army Staff Sergeant Chris Milbrook. We begin this month with a look at the Florida National Guard's response during Hurricane Matthew. As millions of Floridians evacuated to avoid the storm, our Joint Operations Center here in St. Augustine was also being moved to Camp Blanding Joint Training Center. A.J. Artley tells us why the 60-mile move west was such a big deal.
As Hurricane Matthew moved closer to Florida on October 6th, the Florida National Guard was busy staging vehicles and preparing equipment at Camp Blanding. While across post, they were beginning to use the Joint Operations Center training facility in a way they never have before.
To move from 2,500 soldiers to approximately 4,000.
Built in 2009, the vision for the building has always been dual purpose, as a joint operations center and a training facility.
We used this facility for Vigilant Guard 2013, I think it was, a large NORAD Northcom exercise.
Most recently, Department of the Army civilians use it to train in emergency management operations.
And that's all Army installations, so across the globe. They come here now as part of the Army Emergency Management Training and Exercise Program.
To give the students a better learning experience, upgrades were made to the building since Colonel Sean Dowdy participated in an exercise more than 3 years ago.
That exercise experience was great for us to feel comfortable as we rolled in here today. Again, they've made some improvements. It's a wonderful facility.
So this is the first time we've actually stood this facility up and did an actual operation out of the facility.
So it took 7 years for the Florida National Guard to actually use this building for a natural disaster. It served its purpose, and because nobody wants to see another hurricane anytime soon, the Guard members said they can wait another 7 years to use it. And just like our SEAL says, they will always be ready. Reporting from Camp Blanding, I'm A.J. Artley for the Florida National Guard. Always ready, always there.
Coming up, we will see the christening of Florida's newest armory and the groundbreaking for a future site. And as part of Cybersecurity Awareness Month, we see our Six Shop participate in an exercise along fellow DoD and industry professionals. Next, as part of the disaster response and recovery operations following Hurricane Matthew, Florida Guardsmen were working throughout the affected communities to assist people in getting their lives back to normal. Part of that aid came in the way our soldiers helped people get basic life-sustaining necessities such as food and water. For one young specialist, this storm has provided a unique perspective.
Back in '04, I was in Ivan in northwest Pensacola, so I understand where they're at. I understand where they're coming from. And I went through the same line as a youngster, seeing the National Guard passing out stuff, and it gave me a sense of comfort as well. And I know we're doing something good here for these people.
As part of the future plans for the Guard, Major General Michael Calhoun, the Adjutant General of Florida, was joined by numerous state representatives and county commissioners for a groundbreaking ceremony in Palm Coast. Plans for the armory started with former Adjutant General of Florida, Major General Retired Emmett R. Titshaw Jr., to keep Florida Guardsmen trained and ready for the future.
Recognizing that our facilities are extremely important to the communities around the state and to our soldiers, especially our soldiers, as they generate readiness for the foreign fight or the fight against natural disasters.
Earlier this month, the Florida National Guard made history with its newest armory in Miramar by naming it after a living general. The armory, named after Major General Ronald O. Harrison, who was the Florida Adjutant General from 1992 to 2001, was on hand for the ribbon-cutting ceremony. Finally, we head to Tampa for the third annual Florida Cybersecurity Conference, where PFC Orion Edel tells us what our cybersecurity team is doing to stay prepared.
Tuesday, October 25th, the Florida National Guard attended the third annual Florida Center for Cybersecurity Conference in Tampa. The conference held an exercise that would test multiple teams against a cybersecurity threat.
The way the exercise is structured is we kind of have a core set of blue teams, blue team meaning defensive teams, and those consist of both some of our military partners and some of our academic partners and student groups from across the state. That portion of the exercise was really by invitation only, and they're really charged with defending a core network against some automated cyber attacks. To make things a little bit more interesting and a little bit more challenging for those core participants on the defensive side, we have opened up to the entire conference the opportunity to serve in a red team capacity to add a little more realism to the exercise.
Team Chief Major Jennifer Hunt watched over the Florida National Guard to ensure efficiency over multiple attacks.
The position of the team chief has, several roles, but essentially it's my job to make sure that we have standardization across the board of what we're doing, and that our efforts both on the training side and response time is what's necessary to defend the DoDN, the defense network here in the state of Florida, as well as assisting our state agency, state partner peers, and other states.
This exercise idea was inspired by Cybersecurity Month's main message about how open cyber threats are to everyone and that anyone could be an attacker.
Technology is evolving. What we do today may not work next week or in 30 days or in 48 hours. The cyber threat is evolving. Anybody with a laptop and access to the internet is a potential cyber warrior.
Overall, the mission to spread cybersecurity awareness and gain new skills to better each other in the field was accomplished after the 27 attacks that had occurred over the course of 4 hours.
I think it's just extremely important that everybody in the Florida National Guard and in the services in general, and even in your personal life, realize that cyber threat is very real. And it's something that people haven't had to contend with in the past, but it's quickly becoming a very hot topic and a very hot issue. And we just need to know that we all have a role in cyber protection, from the soldier sitting behind a computer at work doing their job and answering emails to the network engineer that's running the Florida National Guard network. We all have a role, and it's our responsibility to do what we can.
Reporting from the Tampa Convention Center, I'm Private First Class Orion Edel.
That's all for this edition of the FLNG News Brief. Reporting from the Florida National Guard Public Affairs Office, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Carmen Fleischman.
And I'm Army Staff Sergeant Chris Milbrook. Tune in next month to see what's happening with your Guard.